Yep. How you guys out there doing today? This been gone a couple of weeks and out in New Orleans, enjoying a break. I won't say enjoying the weather. It rained all while we was down there, so I can't really say that was like that. But I can't. That situation, I guess though, I got out of it what I wanted to get out of it. Got a chance to breathe. Got a chance to get my head clear and see what's going on out there. So, that was fine. Like I said, it rained all while we was out there, stormed. The hotel we was at was right on Bourbon Street, and that was just man, that was what that was. I guess I could say that, but they don't really have any value of putting a mask on down in New Orleans. So, even though I'm vaccinated, I still don't feel comfortable, not having my mask on, so or being in close quarters like that, because I don't know, I still don't feel comfortable with what the CDC is saying. So until that point, you'll probably still catch me out with a mask. I don't want to be one of those ones looking around 2 months from now and it's just like, yeah, I know we told y'all was good, but yeah, we figured out y'all not. So, but then I know, the counter statement to that is then why get vaccinated. So like I said though, I had it already and it wasn't a pleasant thing. Like I said, I had it before they could really test for it, and it felt like it was a 20-pound weight sitting on my chest. And it took me maybe like 8 months to kind of shake it off. Like I was dealing with breathing issues, not in terms of like being hospitalized, but like I could walk to the end of the block and it just be a shortness of breath by the time I get to the end of the block. And it took me a while to kind of build my wind back up. But on that vacation, I was able to lead a dog here, get away, just kind of have some personal one-on-one time with my wife and talk, kind of sightsee, keep my head clear. I mean, of course, we got down there Friday. By Sunday evening, I was already in episode mode. So, I got something cooking for that already. But that's a whole nother episode, and we'll deal with that, I guess, at another time. But, that was what that was. But, on that trip, I was able to kind of recenter myself, though, and say, what, it's time you get focused again. It's really time you get focused again and treat. I had my LLC for this, we were talking 7-8 months ago at this point, maybe longer than that, but I haven't really been treating it like a business. I haven't like went 100% in yet. So on that trip, I was able to just kind of like get on Canal Street, just walk, had my headphones on. And I just kind of at that point realized, it's time you get focused and treat this like a business. So, and some of that had already been through trial and error with a lot of microphones already. You definitely start seeing my face on YouTube a lot more and not just the little silhouette going. You'll see me talking periodically. So, but in my stash, like I said, we 400, 500, 600 episodes worth of material, to be honest with you. So, throughout all of that, I'm probably within the next week or so, in the next couple of days, to be honest with you, probably end up going somewhere and just getting my weekly plan laminated where all of my time is just completely mapped out. Where I know what my free time is, I know what my free time isn't, and we'll just keep it there at that point. So, that was cool. It'll be some shorter episodes, 30, 40 minutes. It's gonna be some long episodes, 2.5, 3 hours. But I think a lot of times I'll go a day, or I may pump out an hour and a half video and go on a run and do it like 2 or 3 days. But it can become mentally draining when you just like on the same topic over and over and over again and going that long. Like I said, when I'm doing the conversations with Steve and Liv, and it's me and my wife doing it, she can kind of, even though we're going for an hour, I may be only talking 20, 30 minutes. So I'm fine. And I don't really have to stay super focused either. I can just kind of maneuver, do what I'm doing, and bounce. She can be going, and I can hear her ideas and bounce my ideas off of hers, and the conversation can stay free flowing. When you're doing this stuff by yourself, though, yeah, it's a whole nother monster when you gotta captivate the audience and hold their attention for 40 minutes. So, with that being said, let's get to it. There was a question asked in one of the Facebook groups I'm in, and he was saying asking for a friend. I don't think he's asking for a friend. I probably think this is actually dude himself, but that's fine. We'll go along with it. First thing I want to say before we get into this, though, is the number one relationship you have, it should be your children, even before your wife. And I know some people say, well, God said, hey, man, I'm not getting into the biblical stuff. And for people who don't have children, I don't think they'll understand that bond until they have a child. And I think it's easy for people without children to say, well, I won't even say that. Because my uncle goes by that mindset too of, if there's a fire, I'm saving my wife. And if I can save my children, I will save my children. But we can always reproduce more children. And for me, I'm 40. I've lived my life. So if it comes a point between me saving my wife and me saving my child, or me saving myself and me saving my child, I'm going to say the 13-year-old, she got more to deal with. She has more to give to the world at this point than I do. Hopefully. I would hope she would live another 27 years. So in that mindset, I'm thinking she has her youth ahead of her. My youth is gone. Not to mention, that's unconditional love for me. So there would have to be something catastrophic done for me to burn that relationship with one of my children. They have way more rope, and the boundary levels are way far out. Like, it would have to be something along the lines of them breaking into my house and them stealing from me like that, or stealing a debit card or credit card and max. It would have to be something along those lines for me to just be like, all right, yeah, you violated and I'm done with you. But I would say they don't have to do any of those things, because if they ask, for the most part, I'm going to give it to them anyway. So, but he has children by more than one woman. He's currently engaged to his son's mom, but he has a daughter from a previous relationship. His fiance doesn't get along with his daughter's mother and doesn't want him to have any form of communication, so he can't contact his daughter or visit her. His fiance threatens to never let him see his son again if he reaches out to her. So he's pretty much forced to choose between his children. Grandfather, his fiance's grandfather is the judge in his county who handles family cases. So it's going to be hard to fight for custody. So we're gonna start with the end. Right there, that's a disclaimer to say, yo, I don't really want to fight for my kids. So he don't really want to fight for his kid. That's why he's staying with the son. Please understand. And I'm gonna just be honest with you. Whether the grandfather was, doing handling family cases or not, if you fought for custody, yes, you would get custody. And if the child is young, that custody agreement could go well at this point. Because when the child's young, they don't have, like sleepovers and they don't want to go to the mall or they don't want to go out kicking it. They don't have a boyfriend. They don't have a girlfriend. So all those things work well every other weekend. Now you have some people who say, yo, well, we should do 3 days here, 4 days there, 4 days here, 3 days there. We found out through studies though that it doesn't cause a lot of it's not a lot of stability for the child when he moves around like that, because he's bouncing from one friendship to the next, one household to the next, and you never really settle. And as an adult, I can understand that, because as much as I enjoyed that vacation, I couldn't wait to get back home and get back into my own comfortable surroundings where I can maneuver the way I want to maneuver. So I get that. And unless his fiance is a terrible mother, he's not getting child support. I mean, he's not getting full custody anyway. It'll be a joint custody thing, but she'll get the primary custody part of it. And they're not taking, you have to be a terrible mother and a terrible woman for them to take a child from his mother. You really do. So, and your wallet would have to go, your bank account would have to be very deep to be able to win that type of fight. So, with that being said, and since you have to preface this by saying that, I'm pretty sure that his wallet doesn't go that deep. So, with that being said, we can eliminate the end part of it. Because to be honest, if he's staying with the fiance, it's just because he values that relationship with her and his son more than the baby mother and the daughter. Now, he can also not be a great father to that daughter also. And that relationship may be rocky already. And he may only see her once a month. May not communicate with her like that. And that's, to each his own. You parent the way you want to parent. I'm not here to judge that. Because as much as I love my daughter, that's a conversation I have also, is I'm not there on a day-to-day basis anymore. So, whether I say I'm doing the best I can or I'm in her life, she's getting indoctrination day in and day out from her mother, day in and day out from her mother's husband, day in and day out from her grandparents. She's getting different orders from different people now. So no matter if I have her 6 days out of the month, the other 24 days I with who? So you keep adding that up. Now that's 48 days of messaging to 28 days of messaging. That's 72 days of messaging according to 18 days of messaging and so forth. At a certain point, my words ring hollow. They just do. One message is getting pounded into her head way more than mine is. Possibly 2 to 3 messages are getting pounded in her head. And this is how the gynocracy exists. Yes, as men, we are responsible for the gynocracy existing because we chose our own personal needs, or we chose the wrong woman to procreate with, and that just is what it is. And that's something I say now when it comes to my oldest daughter. Am I doing the best job? Did I do the best job preparing her to be a wife? More so than preparing her to not need to rely on anybody. And as fathers, we do have to take some blame with that because we do think we should be we raise our daughters thinking we won't let you down as the man and we're really the only man you need, when in fact at some point you're going to need to rely on another man, and we're going to have to let go of that reign we have over you for another man to step into that place. Because at that point, once you step into another relationship with another man, daddy has to step all the way back because this ain't his house no more. His word ain't bond in the next house. So with this situation, you know, this can go a lot of different ways. I mean, first I would tell you, I'm not, well, let's just go from the beginning. It's children by more than one woman. He hasn't told us how many women, because with more context, I could just tell you what type of guy he is and keep it moving. But since I can't, I have to just go by what he's saying. So we just have to go on the premise it's two women. He's currently engaged to his son's mom, but he has a daughter from a previous relationship. Now, we don't even know, though, the context of this. Because even though he says previous relationship, that's just before this engagement. We don't really know if the son is older than the daughter and their relationship predates the previous relationship. We don't know if she took her from the son's mother. Which, if it did, I always tell men, you never double back. When you leave a woman, that's it. We know how that book ends already. We just do. So, with us knowing how that book ends already, you don't have to read it again because the story not going to end. It's not a book with multiple endings to it. So, and even if you do double back, what you'll find out is she'll shapeshift for a couple of years, and then who you already knew will come right back out again. You'll be like, "Yeah, I thought you changed," and it's like, "Well, I'm trying to change. I'm working on myself." Okay, yeah, I'm out. Good night. So even when he says he has a daughter from a previous relationship, we don't even have the context to know that either. Which again, it would make it easier for me to at least speak to it. Because at that point, I would know what was what. Fiance doesn't get along with his daughter's mother and doesn't want him to have any form of communication. Now, this is basically the meat of all of this. And this is where I'll say that relationship should never. Now, fiance doesn't get along with his daughter's mother and doesn't want him to have any form of communication. I'm fine with that. But I don't really have communication with my children's mother besides my youngest daughter's needs. That's it. I ain't asking how you doing. I'm not asking how your relationship is doing. I don't care about your. You're not getting a happy birthday from you. You're not getting nothing from me at that point. That relationship is dead. It's over. We communicate strictly between them two, about them two. If she tries to ask any questions over here, I'm not interested in. Well, Everybody know you're not getting nothing from my mother. Don't even know what goes on inside of my relationship. So, but you're not getting nothing from me at that point. I'm cool on that. So I don't even have a problem with the first part. Now, what it does show then, is if you don't want them to have any communication, are you willing to play the middle woman to go get the daughter? Because if you're not, then now I understand if I'm getting ready to get married to you. Well, I already understand you have some insecurity issues. And because I understand that, me at my age, I wouldn't deal with a woman like this anyway. Because a woman like this they want this from you. They want you to be responsible for their happiness. They'll look in the mirror and say, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not thick enough. I don't like my eyelashes, so I want longer eyelashes. I don't like my behind, so I'm going to go get butt surgery, or I'm going to go get a Brazilian butt lift. I don't like this, so I'll do this. Now, they'll use medicine and they'll use health reasons for why they'll do all of these things. But you could just go and firm all these things up in the gym. You could, if it really meant that much to you. Or you can say, I just want the easy way out. I'll do it this way. Now, when you meet women like this who have insecurity issues, like I said, you're going to be responsible for their happiness at that point. She's going to always ask you, yo, at certain points, I just need you to tell me I'm beautiful or that you love. Yeah, but I say I love you every day. How about you do it 3 or 4 times? I need you to let me know I'm beautiful sometimes. If I tell you look nice or you pretty or you beautiful 3, 4 times a week, yeah, but I could use it probably every day. And she'll say stuff like, I need you to validate me or I need to be reassured. If I have to reassure you, you look beautiful, then we got a problem. If I'm in control of how you see yourself in the mirror, then there's a good chance that I won't be around in this relation. I won't be around to end this journey with you. Because I'm going to tell you as we veer off this subject for a second, this is how this also ends. And this is how this plays out in a lot of relationships. She's going to come to him. Well, first, we're going to get to how all this is going to play out just in general. So we're going to finish reading this. So he can't contact his daughter or visit her. So at that point, we'll break it down. Now I'll get back to that story. So he can't contact his daughter or visit her. That point right there, that's in my head, the relationship is over. It's over. I'm not choosing my wife's relationship over me and my daughter's relationship. That relationship is permanent. That's my lineage. That is me. That's a part of me. My wife is not a part of me. That's a union. That's a friendship, but that's a friendship that could end at any point in time. That child will be my daughter forever. That child will be my son forever. So no, I would never choose that relationship over a child's relationship. If she was forcing me to do something like that, I would be out of that relationship. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. So he can't contact his daughter or visit her. That lets you know that his soon-to-be wife did a nut job at that point. You're just dealing with somebody who has a lot of self-esteem issues. And it's just something that goes way beyond you. You won't be able to fix that. Now you think you can, because every man loves to play Captain Saver. And he just, I can change this. I can make this right. And then she'll be indebted to me. Now it's vice versa, which when I go back to that story, I'm going to explain to you why this is going to all end bad. His fiance threatens to never let him see his son again if he reaches out to her. So he's pretty much forced to choose between his children. So now the ultimatum has been set. In the hood nerds world, you give me an ultimatum, the person who gave me an ultimatum is going to lose 9 times out of 10. I'm going to go the opposite way just because you gave me the ultimatum. And that's just me being honest with you. So, why would she give him that ultimatum? Now we'll get back into the story of why this is going to end bad. Because he's going to choose the fiance. They've already let you know that already at the end of this story. So why he said his fiance, his grandfather is the judge in this county who handles family cases, so it's going to be hard to fight for custody. That's why they gave you that little part right there to let you know why he's going to choose his fiance, because he's terrified that he's going to lose. So he's already told you my relationship with my fiance and my son is more important than my daughter. Now, if you don't really see your daughter, then you should nurture that relationship with your son and your fiance. If you have a close relationship with your daughter, though, then you just end this relationship and you handle it through the court system. But this is how, now we get into that story and the gynocracy. This is how this game is played. The story is going to go something like this. Let me get some gum out. This might be a 10, 15, 5, 10-minute story. The next 10 years, his daughter is going to be whatever age she's going to be. But he's not giving ages out. So let's just say 17, 18 years old. Throughout this process, what's getting ready to happen is, even if he has his daughter every other weekend, this is how this goes. Right now, these things it'll be fine. But as that child gets older, that child's mother will be with another man probably, if she's attractive. Or it could be multiple men. Which means now there's been multiple male role models in her house on a day-to-day basis that have supplanted you. So you don't even measure up now. She don't even really see you as the man in her life no more. And that just is what that is. You can't control it. Even if you are the best male role model and figure, that's just the way the game works. Because she's going to see what she sees on a day-to-day basis. Not on a every other week, 2-hour, 48, well, I won't say that. Every other week, 48-hour scenario. She's going to get a chance to get somebody 24/7, 7 days a week. And then you'll be able to sneak in every Friday, Saturday, and have her back by noon on Sunday. So then it'll come that point where those weekends they won't even be every other weekend anymore. It'll really just be, I just need you now on Sundays for shopping as she gets older. Because as she gets friends and a boyfriend, this is now what's going to happen. Those weekends that she's supposed to come see you, the weekend prior, she's going to say, hey, mommy, can I go over such and such, or can me and whatever my boyfriend is, can we go out this weekend? No, this is our weekend. Wait till next weekend. You know who time it is to see you next weekend? Your time. You know what happens then? Hey, Pops, mommy wouldn't let me go out. She gonna call you crying, upset, and all of this. I've lived through the game already. And I've talked to other men who are currently going through the game. She's gonna call you crying, upset. Oh, I hate mommy. I can't stand mommy. What's wrong? She won't let me do this. She won't let me do that. She talking about wait till next weekend, and that really mean a lot to me. And I really want to go with him. So now you don't really know what's going on at that point because you're new to this. And all you hear is your baby girl hurt and crying. So now Friday come. She already set you up for it though. Hey Pops, yeah, what's going on? Um, is it okay if I go out with such and such tonight and then go out with my boyfriend tomorrow and then I just come see you Sunday? Now, you already not spending time with her and you don't want to be the bad guy. So guess what she did? You already know already because she's planted the seeds. I hate her for this already. So you really put in a no-win situation. So guess what happens? Sure you can. Just now you don't want to be the bad guy. And you already know, hey man, I'm just trying to keep the peace and keep the lines of communication open. So you give her that. You grant her that wish. So now that every other weekend now turns into one weekend a month. And then the Sunday that she does come see you that day, then she comes to you and say, Pops, I need some shoes and a couple of outfits. You think we can go to the mall? Well, I was kind of hoping I don't really want to do that. That's boring. I got to do that stuff with mommy and her boyfriend or her husband. All right, fine. So now you want to be Superman and the hero. Now you come on in and guess what happens? She winning in life now. She had a boyfriend. Her daddy has become just the financial provider to fund her lifestyle with that. And then she's also being raised in the gynocracy by her mother. So what is the lesson she's learning? If I whine and cry and use my tears the correct way, I can basically get everything I want. And the only person who can hinder any of this is a woman. Hence, why women are always in competition with women and they don't want other women around. Because they understand other women know the game already. And they don't want other women to put you onto the game. Hence why you'll hear women say, what? I don't have a lot of women friends. I only really hang around guys. Women are messy, they catty. Yet they come to you and tell you what? The best leaders in the world are women. Well, I don't know how that could be if you saying you don't mess with other women. So if you don't mess with other women, then you're not leading other women. So you want a man to follow a woman, but you can't lead other women and get them to play nice. But that's a whole nother topic and a whole nother discussion for a different day. We won't even go into that today. So then we get into that relationship with the daughter. That's going to go on like that until she's 18, 19, 20. Now, at around 18 or 19, she's either going to make one or two decisions when she graduates from high school. Either go away to school or she wants to get from under the gynocracy rulership of her mother and she wants to live on her own and show you she can win. Now, at that point, again, guess what's going to happen? Had you been that daddy, this one had never happened. Now it's your fault. This is all your fault. You've been nothing but the good guy in all of this. You tried to be nice, play nice, let her have everything she wants. But she's going to tell you the second these things go wrong. Now, when she graduates, you're going to see a post like this, though. This family did it. That's going to be me. That's going to be you. I mean, that's going to be her mother, her, and the stepfather or the boyfriend. That's going to be their bond. They're going to be like, she's going to say, look at God. Look what God did. They're going to have all the pictures, balloons flying down, all of this. Now, when that day is over and the mother is through showing everybody that she's made this huge accomplishment, as my daughter likes to do, air quotes, this huge accomplishment of graduating from high school. which is not an accomplishment at all. I will never be a parent to celebrate a child graduating from elementary school, high school, or college. To me, those are not accomplishments. When you are doing what you want to do in life, that's an accomplishment. You passing the class, to me, that's like getting up and performing a day of work. We don't have parties for having a good day of work. That just is what it is. But that's fine. All that's gonna happen. She's gonna show the world. They're gonna show you. Look at the honor roll. Look at all of this. Now they're bragging on the child, but what it really is, they're not bragging on the child. They're really showing you and trying to tell you, look at the great parent I am. So now that all this is done, they've shown you what a great parent they are and how they didn't need no man, or we did this without him, and it's been 3 or 4 different dudes that even came in and filled your role without all of this. Now this is what happens. Somewhere in the next year or so, that child's going to decide, I don't want to go to school, or I'm done with school. I want to take a year off. Now you're going to get a call from the child's mother. I'm done with her. I'm tired of dealing with this stuff. You can have her. I can have her. She's an adult now. What are you talking about? Well, that's cool, but I'm done with it. So I'm just letting you know what she's doing. You can have it. Now, it's all good. And look at God when it's going good. The second it hit off the rails, though, and she's with her boyfriend, or she's not making great life decisions, it's going to come. This statement right here will be made. All of this was because she didn't have a positive male role model. She had daddy issues. That's what's going to be said. She got daddy issues. She going to put the blame all at your feet. Now, when she was doing good, you wasn't mentioned. When the mother was sleeping with 5, 6 different guys and bringing all these different guys in and out of that child's life and playing around and all of that, you wasn't mentioned. In fact, you even went to her. Now, let me give this disclaimer. This is not my story at all. My daughter was a junior in high school when I decided to leave. But when all of this ends, you're going to even go to her before that child gets to high school and say, I think that child should come live with me. But because she needs that child support and she's getting extra income from you and the dude that's coming in, and she working and she getting money from the state, she winning on every different level right now. That's 4 streams of income that woman got coming in. And if she got the child working, she got the child contributing to the house. So that's 5 streams of income she got coming in. She doesn't really love that child, though. That child is a means to an end. Always has been. And she's so much a means to an end, that same woman will then go and be 46, 47, 48 years old with no child in the house now, because the youngest child then left maybe at 41, 42. So they had this whole big party. Now, she's 42, 43 years old. I'm childless. I'm getting ready to go travel the world, y'all. So she went, traveled the world, saw a sexual marketplace value, and guess what she found out? But you also have to remember this also. Those 5 streams of income have now turned into 1, because the oldest child gone, youngest child gone, no child support. Now that she's 47, 48, ain't too many men really checking for her like that. So now guess what she does? She finds a thirsty little late 20s, early 30s dude. This is when I tell you about the aging vet. She'll cook for him, clean, rub his head. After they have sex, he gonna doze off, wake up an hour later, food cooking in the kitchen. Everything is good. And he just having a good time. He ain't got a clue. She even telling him, oh no, I'm on birth control. I wouldn't even have. I'm 48. I can't have no more kids. Guess what happens? Plan worked again. I'm pregnant. Yeah, how are you pregnant? I thought you could. I thought so too. They said at my age I couldn't have no more children, so I just didn't even worry about it. Now you ain't gonna talk to the doctor, so you don't know. And at this point, you enjoying aging with her. But now you did up and you notice something. You notice one cheek on the behind is lumpier than the other side. One breast is hanging down to the navel, the other one is hanging on the thigh. You start to look at this woman and say, wait a minute, I'm sleeping with somebody, mama and grandma. What the hell is going on? She don't care though. Because guess what she got? She got a new kid, and guess what? That baby is gonna take her to 67. That's retirement age. Bingo. Now guess what I got again? I got money from the state, still got the job I got. My money is better in that job because I've been on this job for 20 something years. Got the money from the state, and now I got child support from him again. And periodically, I'm going to have different men popping back in again. So now I got 4 streams of income coming in all over again. And the best thing is I got free healthcare for the next 18 years. So I ain't even got to lose money out of my check no more. I can put that 400, that's back in my pocket again. We winning. Welcome to the gynocracy. Now we're going to flip it over to his fiance. Because this is where this story really gets good. As she's emasculating you in front of your son, he's no longer respecting you. At some point, he thinks he's the man of the house. He gonna jump hard in front of you. You gonna say something disrespectful, or you may yell at his mother, and he's gonna tell you who you talking to. But that's gonna be the end of that. That's gonna be at the very end of that when they kick you out the house, because they will kick you out the house. This is gonna start like this though. Babe, I really think you should get out of those gym shoes and those joggers. And you should start wearing like wallabies and, casual shoes with your jeans or your button ups or some slacks in a nice little, button up or a sweater. Yeah. And yeah, cut the fro off and get you a Caesar or a bald head. Put an earring in your ear. You don't know what's going on yet, but I do. So it's taking a while because at first you ain't willing to come out the gym shoes. Best you're going to do at this point is say, I'm going to get a button up for you, babe. That's cool. And she fine with that because it's a minor change. But she know, okay, I'm getting my way. Then she started telling you, ooh, if you will put a sweat on with that and this type of cologne, that'll work. Another minor change. This is 2-3 years later. You don't know, but I'm going to tell you at the end. Then, a few years later, she finally gets you out of the blue jeans because that's almost the biggest thing is to get a man out of slacks from blue jeans and the regular slacks. You still don't know what's going on, but I do, and I'm going to tell you in a little while. And she comes to you and she says, see, she knows when she gets the gym shoe, the task is over. She ain't ready for that just yet. So now this is what she's going to start to tell you. I wish we could start going to the opera some. And I want you to be a little more cultured. Why don't you start reading books? Now, the book she's getting you is trashy romance novels, but to her, she's super educated at this point. So, to her, as long as you got a book that's intellectually sexy to her, it's turning her on. You still don't know what's going on, but I do. But I'm going to get to that. Then she tell you again, you know what? That Izumiyaki you wear, it just don't work. I like that Hugo Boss scent right now. And why don't you start wearing boxer briefs? So you look and you like, okay, that's turning her on. She gave you some of the best oral sex you ever had in your life, some of the best sex you never had in your life. So you thinking things heating up in the bedroom. So you know what? I'm gonna go buy more boxer briefs. And I'm gonna start getting into this Hugo Boss cologne stuff. I'm gonna really turn my game around. You don't know what's going on yet, but I do. And I'm gonna get to it. Then she tell you, babe, I like my men a little chunkier. So, I know you 6'2", 220, but I'm looking for, I think if you had like that little goatee, like don't cut your beard and don't do all of that no more. Don't put the dye in it. Let the gray hair grow. Let it come out. I like that salt and pepper look. And get you some shades and a little dab hat. So you still don't know what's going on. I do. But I'm gonna get to that. Then she tells you this. Don't no real man really play the video game or watch comic books. A real man is out smoking cigars. And he got a motorbike, and he going on trips with his lady. So then you start looking at your guys and you think, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna get this up too. You still don't know what's going on. I do, but I'm gonna get to it. And then it happens. She says, hey babe. Now this is 20 years in now. You done did everything she wanted you to do. She now comes to you and say, why don't you put them, you 47, 48, why don't you put them gym shoes down? I know you like the Jordans and all of that. But why don't you come over here now into some more casual shoes? Why don't you get the Kenneth Coles and Ralph Lauren's and the UGG boots, the men casual boots, not those, whatever, the Cole Hans, all those things. And you know what? She continuing to get aggressive sexually with you. So you thinking, this really turning her on. You don't know what's going on yet. I do. And I'm going to get to it. So now, this dude has done all of this for her. Let's run it down. He done got rid of his ex-woman. He done got played like a clown and lost his daughter. His son no longer respects him. And she's completely changed his whole style. Now, at the end of all of this, what happens? She says, hey, babe. You say, yeah, what's going on? I'm bored. And I think we should start seeing other people. You snap. She's emasculated you in front of your son. Now your son is jumping in your face saying, you ain't going to touch my mother. You ain't going to yell at my mother. You ain't going to do nothing, which you shouldn't be yelling or touching. Won't promote that or condone it over here. So you get up and you go, you crying and all of that. So then there's a birthday party for your son. Get together. She tell you to come through. You come through. She said, I just want you to meet my new guy and all that. You still heartbroken, all of that. Now I'm going to tell you what happened through all of this. The guy she told you to meet was the alpha she always wanted. She turned you into a work husband until she could have a work husband. He's now left his wife and came to her. And he's available for her. And at that point, guess what happens? You lost. You go get the gun. You go to the top of the roof. You ended it all. You didn't know what was going on. I did. And now I just told you. Don't let this woman play you for a fool, my man. It's your boy, the Hood Nerd. I'm out.